Hey guys, welcome back. This is lesson 1.10 about trig identities. Some of these trig identities that we go through are only going to be required for BC. AB, if you're in AB calculus, you're still highly encouraged to know all of this material. But some of these identities, and I'll let you know which ones are only going to be required knowledge for BC. So let's get cooking. So these are required for both AB and BC, and these you hopefully know from pre-calculus. So tangent is sine over cosine, cotangent is cosine over sine, cosecant is 1 over sine, so on and so forth. You can take a look at these identities. These Pythagorean identities are going to be useful, and even and odd identities. So these are going to be required for both AB and BC. You're going to definitely need to know all of these identities. These are encouraged to know for AB. In BC, you're going to be required to know these, especially when we get to different kinds of integrals that have to deal with trig functions. These are going to really help us rewrite trig functions. So these sum and difference formulas, double angle, half angle, product sum to product. Your AB, you were highly encouraged to know these. BC, you will need to know these identities. So I'm about to move on to the next page and do an example of how we can use some of these identities to prove something. We're just going to show what they look like in a proof. But you can pause this and write down any of these identities that you need, but we're going to move on to an example. So here's an example of a proof using trig identities. So we want to prove that cotangent plus tangent is equal to secant times cosecant. So cotangent is equal to cosine over sine, so this is cosine x over sine of x, and tangent is sine of x over cosine of x. So what we're going to do with something like this is we're going to deal with one side of the equation and try to just prove that I can get it to look like this. So I notice I've got two fractions. In order to add the fractions, I need to have a common denominator. So this is cosine squared of x plus sine squared of x over sine of x cosine of x. So we remember from our Pythagorean identities on the last page, so we use just the definitions of cotangent and tangent here. Now we can apply that Pythagorean identity. So this is 1 over sine of x cosine of x. So I can rewrite this as 1 over sine of x times 1 over cosine of x. And now I'm in luck because 1 over sine is cosecant, 1 over cosine is secant. So this is secant of x times cosecant of x. So this is just a short example showing you an application of one of these or a couple of these trig identities. So feel free to pause, rewind, go look back through any of those portions that you need. And remember, make sure that you come to class ready with questions. And this is a review of the topics we talked about today. So I showed you some trig identities, some stuff that is AB required, some stuff that's only be required for BC. And then we also did an example of using a trig identity to prove a statement. So I hope you took some notes. I hope to see you in class with some questions, and I also hope you have a fantastic day.